SBN, Sports Business Now. SBN is a division of Row 27, the digital sports marketing company, celebrating 5 years of creating TV spots, intro videos, and microsites for over 150 teams. See our work at row27.com. And by FanMaker, digital marketing tools for sports teams, featuring FanMaker Rewards, the most comprehensive and popular fan loyalty and reward system. Learn more about our apps at fanmaker.com. SBN, Sports Business Now.
Hey everybody, and welcome to SBN Live, a weekly wrap-up show where we cover all of the latest news of the sports business industry from the week. And we are joined today by Jason Cole and then a newbie, Blake Reisner. How are you?
Good. Glad to be here.
Oh, and Ranger, of course.
And the pupster.
The pup has to make an appearance. How are you guys doing?
Doing well. How about yourself? Good.
Blake, are you nervous?
It's a little nerve-wracking, but hopefully I can make it through.
Spoken like a true champ, I would say. Big week this week in terms of basketball, but we covered a lot of it last week, so we'll get to some things that we didn't get to these last few weeks here.
Yeah.
And
I do have to give you props for, what are you batting, like 85%?
Oh, yeah, my bracket's amazing.
Yeah, great bracket.
I am in like the 95th percent, I believe, 99th percent.
We'll see where you're at in a week.
Yeah, my final four is not. How is your bracket doing?
Not so well.
Not so well. Where do you?
Not in the 95th percentile.
Are you? What place are you
well,
in?
It might be in the 95th percentile, but the other way.
The other way.
Right?
Probably.
But are you beating John? That's the kicker.
I'm not on the bottom.
Well, that's good.
I know I'm a few ahead of people, so.
That's good. It's important. And moving on to a really important topic within minor league baseball, the Lehigh Valley IronPigs have done something a little unique in terms of their bathroom layout in the men's restroom. They are the first to feature a men's urinal gaming system. Yep, that's right. You can, while you're going to the bathroom, you can take aim and play some games here. They say they're the first venue to do so at Coca-Cola Park. And so basically I love talking about this, by the way, because I'm clearly an expert. When a user approaches the urinal, the video console flips into gaming mode, and then technology is used to detect both the presence and stream. And then they get points for their aim and their agility, according to the press release, which I think is pretty awesome. What do you guys think about this? Jason, I know you have some thoughts.
You've seen random stuff like this on Engadget or whatever it might be for years from, in Japan or Korea or wherever it might be. It's definitely a first in the U.S. as far as I know. And, it's minor league baseball. The IronPigs do an amazing job with their season ticket fan base. They do a great job filling that park. But every year you need to try to have additional publicity. And this is just one more thing.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about in this show. Got national coverage in a number of blogs. That has a lot of value.
Blake?
Oh, yeah, the publicity is huge. I heard him talking about it on a local radio station yesterday morning, and it's just getting a lot of press out there. And, the IronPigs have always been kind of known for kind of being a front runner and doing some unique things before anybody else does. So I think they're getting a lot of good press out of it. The thing I thought of right away as soon as I saw this was, so this is for free. I thought maybe you would have to tie in a sponsor as well to participate.
Right.
I imagine if they did honest research on this, that in the 21 to like 25-year-old young male age demographic they're targeting, there's an increase in consumption of beer.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Probably tied to this.
Oh, absolutely.
That'd just be my guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was thinking too, possibly, incorporating some sort of barcode scan. So to play, you have to scan the barcode of a Liney's or a certain type of beer.
Oh.
I know the Lehigh Valley Health Network is also involved, probably like as a sponsor in some capacity, but it's also trying to be a PSA in terms of men's health.
You have a weak stream here. Come get your prostate checked. I can only imagine
possibly.
how the tie-ins are going to go on there.
Yeah. And, you can compete against your buddies because, why wouldn't you be able to, as points are going to be shown.
Does it share out to social media? Because that'd be
onto the video boards in stadium.
What?
So it says, okay, Blake got 200 points, and so you obviously encourage consumption there.
Wow.
Hey, bro, you got to beat me.
I want to go visit just so I can see this in action. I think this would be pretty hilarious.
When I saw this, I literally just started laughing out loud. So it made my day a little brighter. Someone said to me, maybe, the men's bathrooms will be as long of a line as women's bathrooms now. But
maybe.
But what about the sanitary? Like, people are going to be like.
Well, I think the game's directing them to be on target, so it's probably more sanitary than normal.
I don't know if I trust drunk guys.
Yeah. I know that, in that industry too, that is an issue.
Oh, yeah.
And so
drunk fans.
They've come up with ways to try to, keep cleanliness important and keep things, in that area. So hopefully with this program, it doesn't get out of control.
I'm surprised they got a health.
I wonder what the installation
initiative.
costs are. I mean, that's like the number one question going on in my head is like, how much was it to actually install this? Because if you look at the PR they've garnered and the fact they had a sponsor tie-in, I mean, it's definitely a net positive at this point. But how much is it really? And are other teams going to follow suit?
Maybe in the minor leagues.
Yeah, do we see the St. Paul Saints install this system in their new stadium?
They want Jose Canseco wants to be on the Saints, but that's another story. Moving on now to a little more cleanly topic. The MLS, they have renewed their partnership with Foursquare, which is huge because the MLS received 4 million impressions last year via Foursquare during the season. And it's continuing their, promotional agreement, and their partnership is the largest that Foursquare has with a sports team or a sports entity. And, they also have deals with the NFL, the U.S. Open in tennis, NHL, but this one's pretty big in terms of that. And fans checking in, during the opening weekends, they can really get a pretty awesome discount offer of $10 off the $59.99 subscription price for MLS Live, which is like MLB at Bat or other league platforms where you can watch all games for a fee. So what do you guys think about Foursquare MLS? Clearly, they had a lot of great integration last season.
I think when you're in the MLS situation, their MLS Live, I think, is 2 years old, maybe 3 on that platform. So they're still trying to push in that subscriber base. So discounting $10 to get more people or more press, or, that's great. I also think something that's kind of unique that the MLS demographics, I think if you went and extrapolated things out in detail in their season ticket holders, probably overlay very well with where Foursquare's demographics are.
Yes.
They have a younger crowd. It's going to be a little bit more affluent. It's going to be very tech-centric. And you've seen the MLS move into those spaces and land in with their demographics. So it's a great partnership from that perspective. And one aside, I was just in Denver when they had the U.S. Men's national team.
The
Snowpocalypse game. And fortunately, I wasn't at the game, but I experienced the Snowpocalypse. And the trending area on there was Dick's Sporting Goods Park, where they were playing the game. And they had as many people checked in on Foursquare, which I'm an avid user of, at Dick's Sporting Goods Park for that game as you normally see at a Vikings game, which has, 3-4 times the number of seats. So it's definitely a good overlay there. It makes a lot of sense, and I think there's a significant value to both entities.
Yeah, absolutely. And just the evolution of Foursquare with sporting teams, not just the location itself, but the locations within the locations.
Right.
I was just down for the National Sports Forum at the Amway Center, and you could check in at the Amway Center, but you could also check in at the 180 Grey Goose Lounge.
Yep.
So promoting those locations, promoting their partner locations, and obviously tying it in and driving traffic to a subscription is huge, I think.
Yeah, going off what you mentioned, they have additional club level deals too. So each club can create almost like a pocket guide for the fan within Foursquare. So suggesting places where to visit in the stadium, bars, restaurants, and then they can actually include their own sponsors for co-branded offers as well, which is another revenue tie-in for the teams. So kind of cool, considering that this is the biggest deal that Foursquare has with a sports enterprise. So, and then staying along the tech route, social media, Nissan has partnered up with YouTube to create their own channel for their motorsports arm. And they are calling it Nismo TV, or Nismo TV, I guess, Japanese there. And it will broadcast behind-the-scenes films and coverage of the Nissan Motorsports projects, including, the Le Mans prototype, which is such a huge, huge event. I can't imagine racing for 24 hours. But anyways, and so they really aim to democratize motorsports, in other words. We want to see how motorsports can help the brand opinion, said Darren Cox, the Nissan director of Global Motorsport. What do you guys think about this partnership? Blake?
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, kind of moving towards content creation, and just constantly creating as much content as you possibly can, pushing it out there, and having fans just eat it up and taking as much as you put out. So capitalizing on those opportunities to promote your brand, give behind-the-scenes access to your fans, really creating that emotional connection with them to the driver, to the brand, to the motorsports industry. I think is huge.
I think we've seen more and more brands move this way where they're doing dedicated content to go online. I mean, it's one of the primary reasons floated for NBC moving to Jimmy Fallon and The Tonight Show. It's just how society is consuming content is changing very drastically, and this is, probably fairly brilliant, a precedent on Nissan's part to go ahead and introduce this entire forum where they have complete and total control of what their brand image is, of what they push to fans, and begin to deliver content in that manner.
Right, and YouTube actually gets some great branding as well. They get their YouTube logo right on the cars there, and it's a really great partnership, especially when YouTube has generated 1 billion unique users a month, equivalent to half of all the internet users visiting the site, which is incredible. And Nissan is definitely not the first name you think of in motorsports, especially the F1 environment. So definitely a way to differentiate themselves and get some more Nissan fans. And closing out here with another social media topic, and there's some new advertising options on Twitter, which teams should really take advantage of. Self-service advertisers can now target interests in two ways. So they can target users with the same interests as their followers of a certain username. So, for example, if a golf pro shop was trying to promote itself, it might target users who are following Golf Digest magazine or the Golf Channel or even a specific golfer. So they can choose from a wide-ranging list of over 350 categories to really target who they want to go after, and also have the ability to target by gender. So how can teams take advantage of this, whether to sell tickets or to brand their team even further?
I think on selling tickets, it's a great opportunity for those niche promotions that you would run, whether it's a dog day at the arena, or if you have a boys' night out package or a girls' night out package. A lot of these trends, you can go ahead and dive into interests that are aligned with the demographics that you're targeting with these unique mini plans or packages around that game. And you can also go ahead and target people, like you said, by gender, which is hugely powerful. If you have a girls' night out package, now you can go ahead and know that you're hitting that gender 100% with that package. And you can do a lot of A/B testing with the amount of information that's now available. And this is just light years better than what Twitter's advertising platform was a few short years ago. So it's very cool.
Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense if you have a promoted tweet for, like you said, a girls' night out, and it reaches their entire demographic instead of just their women followers. Blake, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think being able to dissect that down and really target target your market is very important. And another feature of the program too is that it puts in daily spending limits too, so you don't have that risk of oversubscription, which some of those other platforms do. Definitely.
No, that's a really great point. Really great point there. But yeah, like you said, Twitter is definitely evolving into a more specified advertising. It really makes sense for brands to do promoted tweets now. And yeah, so anything else, you guys?
No, great show.
Great show. Are you gonna? Well, okay. So who do you got tonight for a couple of the games?
Well, I have 2 brackets.
Okay. Well, your main bracket, like your.
All of it?
Well, no. Just like, okay. Who's your sleeper tonight?
Wichita was my sleeper tonight, but I think they're now a favorite.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. Like.
I'm cheering for Miami.
Oh yeah.
Of course you are.
I should have guessed that. And obviously. Go Hoosiers for me. We will see you next week on Sports Business Now, and you can find us online at sportsbusinessnow.com or on Twitter at SBNow. We'll see you next time.
SBN. Sports Business Now.